We have a special guest in the audience, the sitting governor of the state of Indiana. Please help me welcome Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb. Governor Holcomb, thank you. Appreciate it. Before I turn the mic over to you, I want to give you a thank you. As many of you know, the legislative session ended last weekend. I'm surprised you're still standing. Hopefully you've gotten some sleep in the meantime. And there was quite a bit of legislation of significant consequence to our tech community. Most significant, in my opinion, was the creation of the Next Level Indiana Trust Fund. For years, we've talked about how little venture capital is available in Indiana and how it holds back Indiana companies from becoming those major market-leading major employers that we want here in the state. The Next Level Indiana Trust Fund, for those of you that don't have that much context, it takes an existing $250 million fund, $250 million, and liberates it so it can be invested prudently in venture capital firms, yield a higher return for the state, and grow the next generation of Indiana tech companies. With this, Indiana goes from laggard to leader in venture capital. This fund may be the largest of its kind in the country. Thank you to you for making it a priority. It wouldn't have gotten done otherwise. And thank you to you, Mike and Vincent. We make a good team. It was a big team effort on the tech community side as well. Thank you to Scott Dorsey, Don Aquilano, Tim Kopp, John McDonald, Christopher Day, and all of you who contacted your legislators in the run-up to this and made a big impact. Thank you.
So just a few words.
Yep.
Well, good evening. Thank you, Mike, for that welcome and introduction, and for giving me just a few minutes here, an opportunity to share some thoughts with you all before we get on with the show. And really, I just wanted to say and underscore what Mike just said, and that is to thank you all for your efforts this past legislative session, and for all you've been doing year after year after year to help build this state into what we've become. Because we all know, because of the folks that are in this room and some that aren't able to join us, of course, that Indiana is gaining national attention as being a magnet for tech jobs. And this, of course, is due in no small part to TechPoint, to the local and national media efforts, the talent attraction programs that we have discussed, and the capital investments that you have made possible. TechPoint, and again, all of the folks that are in this room, is a major reason why high-tech job growth, why we are on fire, why it's occurring here in our state at a time when every industry across the board needs to embrace it if they, in fact, want to continue to grow. Indiana's long been known for our 200-year existence. We've been known as a state that excels at making things and growing things. We all know that. But we're ever more becoming known for our innovative side, our invention spirit, our Hoosier ingenuity. Even the, believe it or not, New York Times, the self-described paper of record, has taken note, so I guess you can say we have truly made it. And you know, one of my favorite parts of being governor, not just addressing the challenges that I know that we will overcome, but it also gives me an opportunity to brag about our great state. So I'm going to give you just a few of the stats that I like to share with folks who are interested in growing jobs here in our state, and I'll just admit to you, I like to share with my gubernatorial cohorts around the country. And a lot of you already know these because you made them happen. But our state employment rate is 3.9%, the lowest it's been since 2001. We have more Hoosiers working today in the private sector than at any other time in our 200-year history. And as the mayor well knows, Indianapolis, where we sit tonight, is the best city for wireless networks according to Root Metrics, the fourth best city for women in tech according to Smart Asset. the 5th best city for creating tech jobs according to Forbes, and we're ranked 5th in overall tech job growth by CBRE. But wait, there's more. Our dollar goes a lot further here than it does in other tech-savvy cities. CNBC says that you can live like royalty for $60,000. Well, you could. Both are true. $60,000 yearly salary in Indianapolis is one of the 6 cities to watch, according to Condé Nast Traveler. But it isn't just central Indiana that we've been focused on, and it's not just central Indiana that's racking up these stats. We've worked hard to make sure our entire state is one where you can be successful no matter where your company is located, no matter what region you find yourself growing your roots. Think about it. The state of Indiana, the overall state of Indiana, has a AAA credit rating with almost $2 billion in reserves. We're a top state for cost of doing business and the cost of living. We have low taxes and a reasonable regulatory environment. We rank number 1 in the nation for state government efficiency and effectiveness, according to U.S. News and World Report. I want you all to know that the state of Indiana, your government will continue to seek to be a help, not hinder your business plans. We offer the best colleges and universities, our network, in one state than anywhere else in the world, allowing you to recruit and to groom your workforce and attract your talent right in your backyards. We're home to the number 1 airport in North America 5 years running. And out of this legislative session, we have more direct flights coming, both domestic and international. That's going to help us lead to the better connectivity that we need to grow your opportunities. Indiana's tech front, we've always been a leader if you really stop and take a step back and think about it. We're the racing capital of the world. We're the medical device capital of the world, the RV capital of the world. We're the number 1 ranked manufacturing state in the country as we transition to the advanced manufacturing and automation and artificial intelligence. Heck, we even make the most caskets in the country. So when you add the elimination of the death tax, Indiana isn't just a great place to live. It's also a great place to pass to the hereafter. And while all this is great, we're just getting started, as Mike alluded to. In the first 100 days of this administration, over a dozen Indiana tech companies have announced plans to expand. And while we welcome every single one of those new jobs and those expansions here, we also understand that what it really does is it's adding, it's compounding, this compounding effect, it's adding to Indiana's tech ecosystem. And what I mean by that, to use a basketball reference, is that these companies are doing things that don't always show up in the box score. The impact isn't just the jobs number on some spreadsheet. Your colleagues and employees are creating a giant incubator for tech success throughout our state. It's that cross collaboration that sprouts these new ideas as success breeds more success. It's the new residents of our cities and towns that are pushing for these new amenities, volunteering in their communities, and adding to a vibrant and robust culture. And my chief responsibility, and in fact my role as your governor, is to make sure we keep this state business friendly, particularly tech friendly, so we can keep building on these successes and together take Indiana to the next level. Our recently completed session has given us the tools to do just that. And I'm particularly stoked about the next level fund that Mike referred to. And I know that there are many in this room that helped make that happen. So I want to take this minute just to say thank you for making sure that we got that over the finish line. Thank you. This fund is going to, as Mike said, it's going to take Indiana from laggard to leader when it comes to venture capital investment, and it's going to be one of the most powerful economic development tools in the history of our state. So while tonight we're honoring the best of tech in Indiana, we can also start to celebrate the future tech successes that are going to come from this type of legislation.